Hello everybody, winter's here. It's cold, isn't it? I've been getting a few funny comments though about my my attire. I don't know why. Woolly hat. It's perfectly warm, lovely. Me mum did this for me. Thanks, mum. Got the old bobble on the top there. It might be a bit big, but you know, it keeps me absolutely toasty. I was looking in the mirror, came in this morning. I thought, who do I look like? And I thought, oh yeah, Pootle off the Flumps. Anyway, let's get into it. I definitely will keep this short. I said that last week, and it was 23 minutes. So anyway, I've got my 1980s adverts DVD to keep me company. Probably can't see that, but some classics on there. Right, how's everybody keeping? All right. God, it's actually quite warm now. Take this off. Woo! No more messing about today. I think I'm funny, don't I? Right, I've got a few things to go through and tell you, but let's just get straight into records. So first off, oh, I'm so sorry about that. Let's get this set up. Lads, I'll talk to you. First off, thanks for everybody who came to see Sun Zoom. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We had such a laugh, and it was a great gig. Really, really brilliant. It's exactly what I wanted to do, and with this shop is to get it set up and have local artists play and sell their album. They sold their LP. It was great. So hopefully that helped for those guys. If any other local artists are into that and want to play, then just get in touch. Or if you know of anybody who's got product and they want to sell, I'll sell it through the shop. I'm going to take a small commission because I really just want to help local artists. So that's just to cover my costs. Okay, so what have we got? All right, it's got me a little note here. We've got Wera Foxma, and I'll go through some of their releases in a minute. This is a Scottish label run by Fraser Brown out of Donaghmore, who is a electronic duo on the Castles in Space label. You heard me talk about that. I really love that label. The stuff is great. Now, there's two artists coming to play a showcase on the 26th. I think I've mentioned them. So we've got, I'm going to have to double check, Elizabeth Crompton and Sulk Rooms, both with a new album out. Electronic type of and not all ambient, but really great electronic inspired and based music. So that is on the 26th. They're going to be playing from, I think it's going to be 4 p.m, but there's a couple of acts on, so they're just going to come down. It's free. Just come down, mooch about, listen to the music, and enjoy an afternoon record shop. Okay, what else? I'll mention the things at the end. There's a few other bits to go on about. I'll mention them now because I know at the end I'll get and I'll forget. So, doing record vouchers, they're up behind me. I'll show you them in a minute. We do hi-fi repairs, vintage hi-fi repairs, any turntables, amps, whatever. We do those repairs here now. You can see we've got all those bits over there, so I can do them. Give you the costs of doing that sort of stuff. We obviously sell turntables, getting some tote bags. I'll show you them in a minute. But let's get through some of the records. So I'll show you some, as always, just got loads. A real mix, collectible and affordable. So I will show you some of the Wera Foxma things that we've got, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff that I've got in this week. So let me just get you set up as always, so you can see the records. Sorry about this. As ever, keeping the production value super high here. Just doing it on my phone and wobbling it all around and not thinking about what I'm going to do at all. Keep me a little note so I know what I'm going to talk to you about later. Wera Foxma, okay, this, as I just mentioned, this label, they've got some fantastic releases. Look, all on super duper coloured vinyl. This one's for Raven Music, excellent release. All of the albums that I've got for Wera Foxma are all 15 quid, which is really unbelievable. So come down and have a look. If you don't know them, look them up on Bandcamp, look them up on the Wera Foxma label, buy them direct from them. That's cool. But I do have them in the shop here, so come on down and I'll play them in the shop. They're absolutely phenomenal. I know we've got this reflection. I'm going to change the setup in the shop as well. I'm adding more tables because I've just got so many records. So if you come down in about a week or two, you'll see that a little bit changed. So that is Autumna. This one's the Metamorph. Look them up. This is a comp. Martin Christie Presents Electronic Music Travels, all coloured vinyls, all super duper. 15 quid. I think, yeah, 12 quid on that 10-inch. Scanner. This is I really like this one. This is a bit more my kind of wheelhouse, as they say. Symphonic rock-ish. I think a little bit Godspeed, Black and British. I've got about that band because they're phenomenal. Silvatore Mercatante. Apologies, Silvertori, for pronouncing your name wrong. I've been buying your albums for about the last 18 months, really, when you releasing them on Castles, and this one doesn't disappoint. This is amazing. 15 quid. There's the Where a Fox My label if you're looking for it. Let's get on to them. Right, what other stuff have we got in? Let's go. This is a great comp of a live gig at the Hope and Anchor in, I think, 79, with some great bands on. I think there's like Ian Jury on here, The Saints, The Only Ones, Steel Pulse, Stranglers, Wilco Johnson Band, XTC. Unbelievable stuff. I think this was like a benefit gig, was it? But it's a great album and really near mint condition. 20 quid on that one. Got a ton of country in, and Bobby Gentry, and I thought, okay, I went about country last week. I thought, yeah, just price this will be like 2, 3, 4, 5 quid. Some of it's quite collectible, and it's all in near mint condition. So there's Bobby Gentry with Glenn Campbell. We've got some other Bobby Gentry. I'll skip through these quite quickly. These are all on my Discogs site. Discogs is a, I think I've mentioned it before, website for selling records. Can you see that? Okay, look, that's 40 quid, that one. Near mint condition. Well, that's what I'm asking for, but you know, there's a difference between what you ask for and what you get, right? Always a deal to be done. Don't know why I said that in a Jim Bowen voice. Okay, Bobby Gentry, that was cheap, 8 quid. Right, let's get through these, because this is where it takes up the time, isn't it? More collectible Bobby Gentry, Bobby Gentry, Bobby Gentry, and then the one that everybody knows, Ode to Billy Joe. So this is the album like that. I'm dropping more post-it notes all over the place. Sandy Shaw original on the Pie label. I'm still getting through that collection. I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago about stuff that I've got on original Pie. I've got loads of it, and it was all really mint condition. Some jazz there, some British jazz. Jane Weedlin, Rush Hour. Remember that track? Rush Hour. She was in the Go-Go's, and this has got like a little press release in it and photos, and yeah, see, that's it. This is your bag. This is pretty cool. 10 on that. Billy Bragg, Talking with the Taxman about poetry. I think the third album for Billy Bragg, UK release. You know, don't tell me I'm behind the curve. Look at this. Horror scores. You know, bang up to date. So if you're thinking about Halloween for next year, which I bet some people probably are, then you know. Get this. Bang up to date. Steely Dan again. Got a band you can't not like. I like Steely Dan, but you know, I won't go on about it again. But you know, there's a furore about a band, and you just can't not like them. You're not cool enough if you don't like them. You don't understand music, man. If you don't like that band. I don't know. Everybody's Horses for Courses. Deep Purple, Burn. That's a late 70s press, really super condition. A couple of Cars albums in, Heartbeat City. I remember I think I bought this from my dad. Not this particular copy, but this album back in the day. And there's some great artwork on it. And it was really one of the records that just fascinated me and made me get into music. And it was just all particularly kind of, I don't know, really interesting pop music. It was not some of the stuff that was like in the charts particularly, but it was just really interesting stuff, and that really helped inspire me to get into music. This is an early Cars album. I think I've never had one of these in the shop. This is basically mint. That's completely unplayed. I don't know if it's their first album. This is why I run a record shop. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need people to come in and talk to me about music. Loads more Dio in, so I've had quite a bit in before, but some of it's sold, so there's a bit more Dio there. Holy Diver, got this couple of 12s now. Dio picture disc with Dragon on, Dragon, Flames, heavy metal. Wow! I mean, that's what living is about, right? More Ronnie James Dio. It's marketing, people. It's marketing. Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie James Dio. Ian Jury. New Boots and Panties. Nice original UK copy there. A Beautiful Day. It's a Beautiful Day. I've got another one of their stuff. Loads of original Stone stuff. All, I would say, in good to very good condition. Sleeves are a bit knackered. All unboxed Decca stuff. If you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, it basically means first-ish pressings, early pressings of Stones stuff. So some of the Stones' first early albums, they're all pretty reasonably priced. Comp Big Hits, Greengrass, early comp. Some more early Stones, a couple of copies of this one. This is their first, isn't it? Rolling Stones. I was always like a little bit kind of, oh, I'm not really that fussed on the Stones. And then, yeah, I listen to that stuff. It's great, isn't it? It's brilliant. ELP, Tarkus, Whitesnake, 12-inch. David Coverdale seems to be all over Twitter at the moment, doesn't he? Just like sending out dad jokes all over the place. It's a bit of a strange thing, having David Coverdale sending out dad jokes. I mean, I don't know the dude, but they seem to land on my timeline. This is an interesting Italian compilation, HM Rock compilation from Neat. I think Neat is a label. It's got some interesting stuff. Is it punk or rock? Oh, it looks like metal in it. NWO IHM. One for the purists. Leonard Skinner, 12-inch. That's in the 70s. So they probably didn't call them 12 inches then. They probably just called them like, you know, extended EP plays. How do we fleece you out of money? I bet you they made a comeback or something. And they just decided to release a bigger record to make more money. I mean, you know, because obviously the music industry is all about empathy and understanding and charity, isn't it? Not about cashing in. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Farm 12-inch. There's two 12-inch, isn't there? There's a standard 12-inch, and then there is a white label. In now we're talking. Yeah, this album's ace, and a couple of those like Monkeys albums, later ones, brilliant. Head I've got is brilliant, and that's particularly good. If you want like good pop Monkeys with a bit of psych in it, that's perfect. Kinks. Anybody knows me knows I love the Kinks. I always try and keep some Kinks in stock. These are pretty affordable music for pleasure records put out back in the day. Sold the last one of these Full Spectre I had, so got another one in. We won't get into that conversation about separating out people, their behaviour and their music. Again, nobody listened to anything. Listening to it doesn't condone what people do. Phil Spector says, I've got a load of Christmas albums. I've got a couple of copies of Phil Spector's Christmas album, which is phenomenal. It's immense. I love it. So anyway, Phil Spector, greatest hits. Saxon metal. Look at that. I mean, I remember posing for that back in the day. Yeah, don't think I got paid, but you know, it's all art, isn't it? Okay, OMD, greatest hits. This is oddly like relatively rare. Don't know why. Probably because they've only pressed it once on vinyl. 18 quid in my shop. Nielsen Schmielsen. It's got coconut on it. It's got Without You, I think. Yeah, Without You. I've got the poster. So if you want a poster of Nielsen in his, you know, bathrobe, crack on. Birds, greatest hits. This is an original CBS orange label, 60s, 12 quid. Load of Elvis. Ding, ding. Oh, I've obviously put Lee Dorsey. When I've organised these, I've obviously thought, oh, I'm not going to go through a load of Elvis. I better put something in the middle that I like, so I'll put Lee Dorsey in the middle. I love Lee Dorsey. Again, a bit underrated, or just under-recognised, or just thought of for that one track, working in the coal mine, right? Abba Dabba Doo. So I keep moving this again. Mega production values. You know, when these are like mega production values, and I'm like, you know, Mega Corp, Collect and Survive Mega Corp Inc., and hanging around doing, somebody else is doing these videos, you'll be like, oh, remember the old days where he didn't have a clue what he was doing. I'm glad it's not like that anymore, is what you'd be saying. Walker Brothers. Trini Lopez. This is like a fiver for an original 1965 live album, and it's like mint condition. Trini Lopez. Look at that guitar. Love it. Love it. More Chuck Berry. Those guitars are worth a fortune. I don't know what. I think it's obviously Gibson, but I don't know what ES model it is. It's probably not an ES model. One for the guitarist to tell me. Who's this? Susan Cadogan. Don't know. Did she win the X Factor? I don't care about my actual knowledge of music. I mean, people come in and think that you should know everything. I haven't got a clue. And it's part of the joy of doing the record shop is people will teach you and you'll learn about new music and you'll learn things you absolutely didn't know. It's part of the joy of it. Four Tops. Second album. Love Dolly. I think a dream holiday would be to go to Dollywood. I just love Dolly, she's immense. She's such an unbelievable, talented songwriter, and she plays finger-picking guitar with like nails like that. I mean, I play guitar, but it's hard. She plays them like effortlessly, immense melodies with like super long nails, not just on her picking hand, which is what you need, but on her left hand, on her actual fretting hand. It's astonishing. Anyway, she's amazing. Average White Band. Average White Band. No, it doesn't stand for that. It stands for Average White Band. Stevie, George Faith, rattling through them because this is where it takes forever. Rachel's me rattling on it. These are all fiver. Melvin Bishop, little press release there. We got all sorts of little bits, and we basically leave everything in with the records because that's what I'd like to find, all that sort of candy as they call it. Gibson Brothers, comps, tons of comps. This is all super affordable. Womack and Womack. Let's see if it's got that track on it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I bet you're singing it now in your head, aren't you? You know the one I mean. Fatback Band. Clearly, all the songs on this are rubbish, so they made the cover like that. It must be the case. I'm not seeing anything. I've just got Night Fever. That's about it. I'd like this Fatback Band album, please. I think I'm buying it for the artistic merit of Wiki Wacky, track 3, side 1. I think it's, yes, amazing production. I'm not buying it at all for the cover. Johnny Cash, Greatest Hits. Rat Pack-ish, kind of, a couple of them. This stuff's great. Remember the Rat Pack was a big thing in the 90s when it made a big comeback. Everybody was trying to be like the Rat Pack. Frank Sinatra and Count Basie's done some great albums. He did an album, I'm pretty sure, with Jackie Wilson, and it was just astonishing. Pretty sure I've got that right. Was it Count Basie? I think so. Anyway, Frank and the Count. Ooh, owning the 70s style. Loving that. Bit of Gladys. If you come in here and do kind of like Gladys Knight back in dancers dance around the shop, I'll give you a $5 off anything. It's no problem. I'd be delighted to see that. Obviously within health and safety regulations. I'm gonna have to put some health and safety regulations up around kind of dancing in the shop, maybe, just to make sure we're all safe. Yeah, taking it seriously. Bit more jazz. Chubby Checker, Ella Fitzgerald, all this old stuff. Normally gets a bit battered. It's all in great condition here. Mungo Jerry. This looks rubbish, but it's a great little folk comp. So folk is your thing, or everything you wanted to know about folk but were too afraid to ask. This is probably your starting point. Don't worry, nobody's judging anybody in this shop. Johnny Cash. Oh, Live at San Quentin. Yeah, my tenor. In great condition. Leonard Cohen. Live songs. Story of the Ooh. 12 quid, double. Used to do the Eagles. Let's not go into that if you're a Big Lebowski fan. I don't know what this is. Have I showed you this before? Adventures of the Great King Ram. Don't know. It's $5. Anyway. Walker Brothers comp. Well respected Kinks. More Kink stuff. You can see I'll clearly put these into some really sensible order. Sonny and Cher, original albums. Nice Enough to Eat, an Island comp. So if you want to have an original Island pressing of King Crimson, Spooky Tooth, Tull, Fairport, Mott, I think Bloodman Pig, Nick Drake, or is this Dr. Strange? Yeah. So, loads of, all these individually, these albums will cost you quite a lot of money, maybe apart from certainly the Nick Drake and the Crimson original first presses cost you an absolute bomb. So if you want an Island pressing of that, that's your album, £5. Lionel Knows His Vinyl. Oh, knock 50p off that for the damage just caused by throwing it over. I get tons of Rod. I was in Liverpool. I was in some shop which sold vintage gear, and they had a little vinyl section. And they put this. They had a Rod album, and they charged 20 quid, and it wasn't even one of a first album, Gasoline Alley or something. It was just some horrible. It was Atlantic Crossing, and they wanted like 20 quid, and they'd written like a massive write-up on it, and I thought, what are they writing possibly about Atlantic Crossing apart from like, you know, leopard skin spandex or something, trying to justify 20 quid for it? It's complete nuts. I don't think there's many of that type of stuff in my shop over about 5 quid. Definitely not. In fact, I think a lot of it is in a 2 quid bin. Sonny and Cher. And look, pricing isn't easy. Everybody gets it wrong. You charge what you think. You get various records in. Various locations will charge different things. I don't think that I've met in record shops, no one's out to rip anybody off. I just don't see that in record shops. But you try and put a best price on it that you think is going to get rid of it, or for what it's worth, you know. And that's how I do it. And I know that that's how the other record shops that I go to in Liverpool, proper record shops, do it. So there you have it. Everly Brothers. I mentioned it last week. Get Liverpool records in. This is this cop choir one. It's nothing special about the record other than it's autographed. So if that is your bag, that's autographed by that 70s Liverpool squad. So it's got like, sorry, I know this is great visuals you're getting here, but it's got Keegan, Highway, Clements, people like that signed it. Bill Shankly has not signed it, sadly. I think the ones that he signed are worth a bomb. Repress of White Light, White Heat. I expect that won't last very long. Being that the Velvets are another Steely Dan category band, you can't not like them, can you? Nah. Yardbirds, Roger the Engineer, great, superb. Jeff Beck in it. Just superb guitar playing. Really kind of started it all, didn't it? The original band that started everything. Respects, Gen 3 Adolescence, 55 quid on that, superb. Dylan, this is Nashville Skyline in it, UK first press on that. Rabbit, this dude, Rabbit, was the keyboard player to the Stars, Stones, Who. I remember going to see the Who at Shepherd's Bush, managed to get in to see them, but that was like 1990 blah, something. And he was playing with them, and it was they had Zach Starkey on drums, and it was a superb gig. But you know, look at that jacket, killed for that when I was about 18, loving it. I bet he's from like Wolverhampton. I bet you. I mean, 20 quid. He's from like, you know, Brompton or Cleveley, or you know, just but dressing like he's from Nebraska in 1875. It's a beautiful day. I haven't heard it. It's worth, you know, 15 quid in my shop. Come in and buy it. Oh, this is actually taking telescopes, but I get a bit of indie, but someone's put this one away. I should have took that out. If you, after any records, want to put them away, just tell me. I'll put them away. As long as you tell me when you're coming and getting them, that's cool. Interesting Sly Stone record I've never seen before, but there's that. The man, the legend, the dude. I mean, my drumming hero. And this album is really good. I mean, it's just a great album. It's from that Hot Space Queen era, and it's like a concept album, but the songs are just brilliant. I mean, I really love this guy's drumming, an absolute drumming hero to me. Can give or take some of the tunes, to be quite honest with you, but this album really hits the mark. I really like it. Can listen to it all the way through. It fits definitely in. If you like that kind of Queen Hot Space and Queen Flash Gordon, if you like Queen Flash Gordon, you'll like Fun in Space. Okay, what was I going to mention? Oh yeah, totes. I'm getting some totes made. So they're going to be these. They're going to be kind of thick kind of bags with a 10 ounce, if you know your totes. This is boring, isn't it? But they're going to be good. They're going to be good, strong bags. So they're going to be relatively thick with a gusset. And you can slip your 12 inches into that. Woo! I won't do any more carry-on jokes. You know that I've been waiting to do this video just to get that joke in, right? Yeah? I know, they completely ruined it because I'm too excited about telling a stupid carry-on joke. Obviously, I won't be doing that again. I will be doing that every week. Totes, Hi-Fi Repairs, record vouchers. I'll show you them, and then I'll let you guys, if you're still with me, well done, because this is even longer than all of them. Record vouchers. Woo! Can you see them? Am I showing this right? Come and get the record vouchers. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. Sorry for going on again. Come down on the 26th for the gig. Just come down. See you later. Bye. Oh, get me doofer. I always end these videos by failing to find me do. Oh, where's my doofer? Ah! Alright, bye. Is it what?